say that I know all that well. I'm just guessing. We are doing something a little fun and a little different this week, so I'm super excited about that. As many of you know, my eldest sister, Carrie, is an expert sewist, quilter, designer, purse maker, DIY extraordinaire. And she also has a YouTube channel of her own, Carry Me Away. Do go give her a follow, check out her videos. She does much more like actual tutorials that would be helpful if you were trying to make something and you wanted somebody to tell you how to make it. But the other day we were chatting and she was like, you know what would be fun is like a mystery box challenge. Are you intrigued? I was intrigued. So we thought, how about we each send each other a mystery box of sewing supplies with the challenge that, having received this box, we must make a thing from the box. From the items in the box. It's not a cardboard challenge. So, her box to me has arrived. It's so cute. She put little question marks on top, which I will not show you because our addresses are both on there. She said that she went with a theme of green for mine, so I'm really excited to see what's in here. And we set some rules just to make it a little more challenging. So the goal is to use everything in the box except one item. You're allowed to take out one item. And anything that you need to add on has to already be in your stash or has to be thrifted. Simple enough, right? We can make anything we want. So I got her box packed up a couple days ago. I went with a sort of black and white and red floral theme. Not quite as succinct as her theme. Yeah, well. And I threw in this roll of mesh that I got on clearance ages ago because she is so creative. I'm just dying to see if she's able to use it. But I am too excited to wait for her to get it, so I'm gonna go ahead and open mine and get started. Ugh, look how cute. She's so good at this stuff, y'all. Welcome to your mystery box. Oh my God, using old patterns for packaging material. Genius! Ooh, we've got some lovely lace. That's beautiful. Look at that. Ooh, sparkly. Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure I've seen this fabric and absolutely loved it. Look. How beautiful. Is that not absolutely gorgeous? Ooh, we've got a lovely green sweater. Ugh, I almost don't want to do anything to this. It looks so nice. Oh, this is super duper soft. Velvety, but with that texture to it. Ugh, she's sending me so many good fabrics. This looks like it was just a nice sheet, I think, but what a gorgeous color. Oh, and this is just a bonus item that she was sending me for handiness. Yay! But here's what we got. Lovely base fabric, great sweater, delightful accent stuff, gorgeous florals, perfect lace, and a little bit of sparkle to top it all off. God, she's good. All right, so Well, I feel like I need a second to think about this because I come up with my best ideas, well, when I give myself like months to think about it. But I'm gonna give myself just a bit, 24 hours, just that, to think about all of these beautiful materials and how to put them together. Cool, yay. See you soon. All right, so I've had a day to think about it. Possibly I've had more than a day to think about it. Aren't you glad you're here with me while I text for 10 straight minutes? So I'm really gonna try to actually use everything that was in the mystery box, and I'm really gonna try to not add anything except for like thread, interfacing, stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes. With the sheet, I think I'm going to do what is essentially a circle dress, but kind of in like the peasant style. So I've made some peasant dresses before where you just like do rectangles and you add little sleeves to them and you put elastic in the top, bam, dress. It's gonna be that, but a circle. Hopefully I'll have enough left to do pockets because if I don't have enough left, I'll have to add some other fabric. I'm not putting pockets in it. For the sleeves on this circle dress, I'm gonna use the floral stuff. So they're gonna be big, poofy, tulle sleeves, theoretically. To go over it, I'm gonna try to make like a stomacher kind of thing, corset belt. Are those called waspies? I'm not sure. Out of this fabric, which is, yes, technically a little bit stretchy, but I don't want it to be like super structured corset sort of thing, more of a stomacher, just sort of something that will tie on. Right now I'm thinking maybe I'll have it as a front piece and a back piece, and I'll lace it up both sides. You know, I just got all of those grommets, so might as well put those to use, right? And then with the sweater, I'm gonna try to make like a capelet, which is something that I just kind of want to make in general. I have been thinking a lot about capes and capelets and etc. because like it's getting chilly outside. I'm currently like bundled in a sweater because we try not to turn on the heater in the house for as long as possible because yeah, like it's SoCal, it's not that cold outside. It's like lightly chilly, but I'm cold-blooded, so I'm like freezing in this house. And there's that idea of like wrapping yourself in a blanket, but then you're trying to do stuff and it gets in the way. And so I'm like, I need to make capes to wear around the house, like capes with like the arm slits in it, because then you're just wrapping yourself in a cozy blanket, but your arms are nice and free and you can work. That's not what's happening in this video, but that's where my brain's been for the last 2 weeks. So I thought with this sweater, maybe I can cut the sleeves off, cut down the side, and then I'm hoping that I'll have a little bit extra of this fabric so that I can put sort of a gore into it and just make it a little bit more full of a capelet. Then I can put this lace around the bottom for a little cuteness, and I can use this thing as the clasp in the front. Yeah, all of the small pieces are kind of new stuff for me, but the good old circle dress poof sleeve peasant thing, that's something that is fairly similar to stuff I've already made, so let's get started with that. To the cutting table! Although also, yeah, you know what? Skip the cutting table. I'm gonna have to lay this sheet out on the floor anyway, so I might as well just do it in here. Bye! I should have ironed this first. Hi. Yeah. Oh, the squish. The little squish. How come every time I straighten my fabric, you stand on it again? Well, now you're just gonna sit on it. So, this is a weird angle. So I folded the sheet in fourths, and it's kind of short this way. Yeah, this way. It's only 32 inches, and I would have to get like the neckline cut out of that as well. So that wouldn't be super long for a dress, but I have more length this way. So I'm thinking maybe, what if I cut out a circle? Sorry, no, that's what I was already gonna do. What if I cut out an oval? Is this the best time to nibble on your booty? Then potentially it could be sort of it wouldn't be a handkerchief hem because that's like, you just use a rectangle or a square. But it could be like longer in the front and the back and higher on the sides. And then potentially I could also cut the neckline out as an oval instead of just a semicircle. That way I don't lose as much of the length on the 32-inch direction. Is this making any sense whatsoever? I don't know, but I'm gonna try it. Oh, look at that little chin. Sir, how would you feel about taking your cuteness somewhere else? Squish! How's that? Oops. Oh, yeah? Oh, big yawn. Yeah! I don't know how well that's gonna work, but we're gonna try it. Ow! Okay, so I've got that shape. The question is, what shape do I cut that neck hole out? Because I need it to be big enough that I can put it on elastic. It doesn't need to be super gathered, that's fine, because you're already getting the fullness from it just being a circle. But I do want it to at least gather up a little bit, so I can't cut it to just like barely fit over my head. It still has to be bigger than that. I don't know. Shall we wing it? Okay. It has been whung. Oh, that's very V-necked. New idea. Maybe I don't put it on elastic. I just completely didn't even measure that, just cut something out, but it's kind of perfect for a neckline. Sleeves attached here, coming out here. Like maybe I just need to bind it? I don't know. But let me cut out some pockets and stuff, and then we'll get on with this. So I cut out some pockets and a few bias strips for the neckline, and then realized I really probably should maybe iron all of this before I start sewing. Yeah, I should iron it. Ugh. At least it's far more convenient with this next door to my sewing desk placement. And then, in a sudden flurry of decision, I gave up on ironing because not only is this iron quite tiny and cantankerous when it comes to standing up on the ironing board and not plummeting dramatically towards my feet, it also now leaks, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't get as hot as it should either. So away I went to the fabric store to buy myself a big girl iron. This is the only way I end up getting new or better tools. I have to either reach peak annoyance with something or get just a sudden whirl of inspiration. I'm no good at planning and researching and waiting for sales in this area. Oh well, the root of all whimsy is, after all, a whim. The only one they had in stock was the most expensive one. Ain't that just the way? Also, side note, I watched Over the Garden Wall for the first time the other day, and I concur with basically everyone's opinion. It is delightful. Are regular sized irons heavy? I don't think I've picked one up in years. Okay, back to ironing. Having now experienced the joy, whoo, my arm, she hurts, and weight of a full-sized iron, I added a V-neck bias binding on either side of my oval dress, letting it just trail off the ends because that will be sewn into the sleeves. I then had to recall how to attach regular side seam pockets with French seams, which miraculously my brain had stored somewhere far away in the back. It feels like ages since I've done that style, but I guess watching a tutorial 25 times finally paid off. I sewed the side seams of the dress together and tra-la, that basically works. Now for the sleeves. So my plan here is to basically cut this piece in half so that the bottom of each sleeve uses this scallop embroidery that's already in here. I'm assuming you don't have to finish the edge of tulle. That's what I'm hoping, because I kind of just want to cut along this scallop just right underneath it and use that as, you know, the ruffled bottom of the sleeve. There's a long enough amount here that I think it's actually going to be long sleeves, but I am going to put like an elastic with a ruffle sticking out so that I can pull them up, because I cannot stand long sleeves for more than 2 minutes. But this is a really basic sleeve, so I'm just gonna use the full rectangle and just cut out the little notches on the side that match my armhole on the dress. And then the top part gets folded over with elastic put through it to be the top of the sleeves. Bottom part gets elastic. I think on the bottom one, I'm actually gonna use some of the leftover sheet and make a tube and then sew that tube onto here and thread the elastic through it. So there'll be like a little line of the green to kind of match into the dress and also to hide the elastic. I don't want to do that on the top though, so the elastic is going to show through the material. That's fine, but I have both black and white elastic and I can't decide which one looks better showing through. You'd think, like, because the tulle itself is white, that the white would look better. I think if it was going on a bright or light colored dress, I would say yes, go with the white automatically. But going on a rather dark forest green dress like that, I'm like, I don't know, like the black, you notice it, but does it blend better into the rest of the dress? I don't know. I'm gonna allow myself to care about it for about 60 seconds and then I'm just gonna make a choice. And that's exactly what I did. After trimming off the excess material and cutting the piece in half, I folded over the top edges to be a channel for the elastic. I learned on some previous project that it's handy to do this before cutting off the armhole corners. Then I sewed it all down. I then cut out those strips of the sheet and turned them into tubes, sewed them onto the front of the tulle, and laced elastic through them, sewing it down on both both ends. I could then trim off the corners to match the armholes on the dress, sew the sleeve into a tube, and thread more elastic through the top channel. I ended up going with black, and I absolutely think it was the right choice here. Barely stands out at all. Once that was secured on both ends, I could sew the sleeve onto the dress and top stitch it down. Alrighty, I'm gonna throw a hem on here, but that's it for today. Base piece finished, or it will be finished in a little bit. Tomorrow I will start with the stomacher, which I've never done before. Yay! Okay, y'all, today we make the stomacher. I don't think stomacher is the right term, actually. Isn't a stomacher like the insert from like 1700s gowns? Felicity era, if you were an American Girl doll person. Let's just call it a corset belt, and oh my god. Last night it decided to become extremely windy outside, and it has not stopped. Fun times. So this fabric is stretchy, but a corset belt would typically be double layered anyway, and I don't really want to do the one with like the binding around the outside because I hate putting on binding. So I think I'm just gonna do like the 2 layers and turn it right side out and top stitch around it kind of thing. So I'm gonna line it with non-stretchy fabric. If I have enough of the sheet left over, I could line it with that, but I don't think I do. But I can always pull something out of my stash. So I thought this, which seems really bright and random in color, but actually it matches like the yellow flowers on the sleeves a lot. And yeah, have I mentioned I've never done this before? I've never done this before. I mean, it's a corset belt. It's not going over the boobs. So how hard can it be, right? So I'm thinking it'll be a front piece and a back piece, and I think each one should probably be cut up into 3 pieces to get some slight amount of shaping there. This is a bit of a precursor because I have had on my list of projects I'd like to do, make corset belts. There's a lot of dresses and stuff that I've made that I'm like, that would be so cute if you layered a little corset belt thing over it. So I'll get around to that at some point, but this is good practice. Am I gonna wing it? Do I even have to ask? My problem with corset belts is you can do so many different things, which is why I wanted to do a whole project where I just make a bunch. There's just like a billion different ways that you could mix it up, and I have to choose one right now, just one way, which if you've been around, you probably know I'm not great at just choosing one way. I like to do all the ways, all at the same time. So if we start with 12 high, 6 inches, so I'll do it 7 for seam allowance. But also if you want like a good shape on a corset belt, you should make each piece curve in slightly, right? So that when the 2 curves are sewn to each other, you get an actual shaped corset. Especially because I don't think I'm gonna bone this or anything. It's not supposed to give structure, it's just supposed to be cute. Oh, y'all. You know how badly I wanna just start cutting right now? Pretty badly. I might do it. Yep, I'm just gonna start cutting. Okay, we got a bunch left over. Theoretically, it looks like that. So I am just gonna cut out all of these exact same pieces on my lining fabric, and then yeah. So then I would just sew the front 3 pieces together, then the front 3 lining pieces together, and then sandwich them, sew them, turn them right side out, close up whatever little hole I have. And then I'll probably do quite a bit of like top stitching just to strengthen it a little, give it a bit more stability because I'm not putting boning in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll test as I go. We'll see. Ooh, we're very fuzzy here. Here's a thought though, I could interface this, which would probably be wise because again, stretchy, and then like this one is not exactly a thick fabric, it is translucent. So, interfacing. Come here, come here. Oh, so nice. Are you disturbed by the wind? All right, y'all, I have made, oh, that's the back. The first one, the first half, the back half, and I learned quite a few things. Namely, that these are really fun to just like futz around with. The wind is truly getting insane. Yeah, I ended up binding the end edges only. I put a lot of stitching through it, which you can't really see on the velvety side because of the texture, so that's really cool. Y'all, I discovered that the Great Pottery Throwdown is on HBO Max. Still haven't found the Great British Sewing Bee, but I'm looking. But like, who allowed me to start watching this? Because now I just want to try pottery. Every single technique that they do, I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. They're like, working with porcelain is really difficult, and my immediate reaction is, I must try it. So Matt said the other day that he wants to take up painting in his free time, which like he never has free time, so probably he won't. But I was like, counter offer, how about you take up pottery? And then I can take it up with you. Yeah? He did not like my counter offer. Okay, let's sew. Okay, y'all. First of all, I'm loving this. It's so freaking cute. Also, I've learned something else very important, which is why you often see like double lacing corsets, bodices, or belts, rather than the lacing being on the sides. You often see it like right here. That's because it's really hard to lace up stuff on your sides. Now I know. But yeah, is it perfect? Far from it. But like, it's really cute and I learned a lot of stuff. Now the plan is to make my little capelet out of the sweater, which I'm still not really sure is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. So I'm pretty much done, but for some reason I really want to like use up my scraps here, and even the teeny tiny scraps. Yeah, I just want to do something with this for the funsies of it. I'm thinking some crazy quilting. I'd like to do some like braiding and piecing, or piecing and then braiding. And this is just gonna be me playing around, so I might not even, how do I have a mosquito bite right here? Y'all, they find me. What was I saying? I'm probably not even gonna film this, but if I do, here's some stuff, and then we'll see the final product. Well, that was fun. I think a lot of these pieces were just very much experimental, and I must say I learned a lot on this process, far beyond just trying to use a collection of mystery items. So I feel like more prepared for some of my upcoming projects, which is always delightful. But I feel like the final product has a very Anna from Frozen sort of vibe to it, especially with the capelet. But let us critique, because critiquing ourselves is good stuff. For how much I wung it on the circle dress thing, I think it actually turned out pretty decently. The oval hem worked perfectly fine. Like, yeah, it's shorter on the sides, but because it's so full, you don't really notice it and it doesn't feel too short, and it's still long enough for pockets. The sleeves though, I think I should have put like this band with the elastic on the inside. Like, it's cuter on the outside, but it's so itchy on the inside. It also wants to live off of my shoulders, probably because of how wide this neckline is, but that's fine. The corset belt, it has some problems. I mean, first of all, the whole thing needs to be shorter because I have a pretty high waist and it's very defined. And unless you're going like fully over your hips, if you just go a little bit over your hips, then when you cinch it in, that little edge just wants to go boink and fold up. So I was trying to make it short enough that it landed right at that inward point of my waist and nothing was going over my hips. And I miscalculated and made it too big. Is anyone surprised? And then like, this gave me a good example of why boning or some form of structure is a good idea, especially in the front piece, or at least in the front piece, just because that part that goes up is not getting pulled as tightly. And so it just wanted to fold over all the time. That's pretty much most of what I spent filming the final product doing, is folding it back up. The capelet, I mean, that was just fun. It's not perfect, but like, it's a cute idea and makes me want to make more capes. And then this stuff, all of the like playing around with the leftover fabric at the end, that ended up being like 3 days of work. And it's funny because as long as I was just like making the crazy quilting and making the patchwork tubes and making the braid, I was enjoying it. And then the second I had to turn that into actually something wearable, I like lost all interest, which I think is very normal for me. I very much enjoy the process of making something more than just having a final product or trying to get the proper final product, I guess, if you know what I mean. I'm a process person. So yeah, like, I love what I ended up doing. The braid all loopy back and forth is really cool, but it's so thick. Like, this is not a logical belt because it's like you're adding 2 inches of width onto your waist. So like, I don't know what this is. I don't know, but you know what? I had fun making it up until the last like 5%. This has been super fun. There's just one last thing to do, and that is show Carrie my final product and see her final product. So let's do that. Do you ever just forget how to swallow? Focus on Maggie, focus on Bob. Come back to me.
Well, that was atrocious.